So what's good, guys? This will probably be the last update for tonight for November 9th. Um, but yeah, I just want to explain to you guys why I took my gold short this week that I basically gave me over like 500 pips, I believe. 15, 14. Yeah, over 500 pips. Um, so I understand the bias, right? I understand that people wanted to sell, but they didn't want to sell until the price point got here, right? And here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter how anybody trades. It doesn't matter if they're smart money traders or whatever, blah, blah. If everybody's looking at the same thing, it's more than likely not going to happen. And that's just facts, you know? So, you see, we aim to be better than them. We aim, well, not even necessarily better. We just want to be more aware than them, right? Always got to be one step ahead. So, now that's out of the picture, right? Let's zoom in. Let's find out what actually happened, right? So when I was looking at this setup, price was around here, right? So what do we see, right? In order to figure out where we're finding and towards the future, we need to figure out what has happened in the past, right? So the one thing in this chart that sticks out to me is that, right? Because that's showing me that there's some type of volume coming in and then basically um, basically just coming back down. That just shows that some sort of either liquidation, as in liquidity was taken out, or some sort of accounting for a position happened, as in mitigation, or something happened, right? So let's figure out what happened. All right, notice at the top of this wick basically took out previous relative equal highs, right? As you can see, the wick, this wick, took out those two previous highs, right? That's showing me that somewhere in here is some sort of sponsored candle that I'm looking for to capitalize on once price comes back to it, right? So just to cut, instead of me having to go look for it, I'll just skip right to the actual sponsored candle, right? So here, right, it's pretty obvious, right? We see indecision start to form, and then we see one last buy to sell move. So what do we do there? Right, we measure the 50% and the open, of course, but just for clarity purposes, since I've already been through this, right, we'll hop into our 50%, right, and look at where price rejected, right? You can't make this up, right? Notice how it was instant. It was fast. It was within 15 minutes where this mitigation move happened, right? So after this happened, I know that all of these extra moves here were only retracement for the continuation down, unless my setup was invalid, right? But obviously it's met every rule, right? It's met the basically the candle that I played off of took out liquidity, and now this was an instant move, making it valid. So anything after this was basically, you know, you could just call it noise, honestly, right? Like as you can see, price left equal highs, and then this last wick here purged those highs, and then it fully died, right? And now coming back to this move, to where this happened, right? Let's go back to our 4 hour. We got this basically this bullish move that rejected, and it gave us that entry, right? And as you can see, there's volume in there that supports it, right? But then soon after that closure, you see some more slight bullish volume, right? It comes up, but notice it's not being supported. That means that based off law of effort, this is struggling to keep continuing higher when there's no volume there. So what does that mean? It'll more than likely fail, right? So it did, right? That was that first high. This was that second high. And obviously this was that third push that took out those equal highs there, right? But as for this position, right, this is literally only like a 20 pip stop based off of that. Yeah, I'll do like a 20. Right, so now that you have that entry in, you have your stop loss in, where are your targets, right? Obviously, my first target is obviously here because this is my previous liquidity point, right? And that's already 1601, right? Just from there, you're done for the week, right? And not to mention that everybody's looking for that buy up here. I'm actually looking for this to sell off before it'll fully buy, right? And what adds on to that was this daily inefficiency. I know that price more than likely will come back into this area, and it's already topped it, but I can see it still going further, right? But anyways, back to the trade, right? You got your entry, perfect to the T, whatever, and now you just ride this through your TPs, right? My first TP was at this liquidity low, 1601. My second TP was at this basically the lowest low before the final low. And why did I include this one? Because you can consider these some type of equal lows, right? But I'm always aiming for the end of the wick just because that's where the liquidity is set, right? And that there is 20 to 1. And now once you reach that last target, this is my last target, right, at 560 pips, right, that's 27 to 1, right? So as you can see, it's all about holding those positions, right? And even in these retracements, you get opportunity to continue lower, right? So that was a 27 to 1, but what if you caught continuation trades, right, on half of the risk, right? And then you move your stop loss to, so you don't lose any money even if that retracement position hits stop loss, right? So you obviously have some type of sponsored candle move there, but we want to zoom in for more precision, right? And now what do we see? This was the buy to sell move. And now we measure 50%. Boom, to the T. Right, you want to put your stop loss, I would give it 10, right above that closure of the candle. And now you just continue riding this wave down, That first target would be that previous low. That's already 14 to 1, right? And then this, obviously to the last target, would have been relatively a 30 to 1 trade, right? And let's say you missed that entry too, right? So now you look here, right? Obviously we don't see nothing here. Let's zoom in for more precision. Oh, what do you see? You see inefficiency. So when it comes to inefficiencies, I'm looking for 50%. Right, and I want to put my stop above the closure. Right, so my stop would have been probably 13, around there, just anywhere around there. And my first target, obviously the previous low, that's already 8%, and that final target around 10, 11 to 1. So right, so that would have been what, 20 something to 1, 20 something to 1 again, and then 10 to 1 again. So that just shows you the continuations of trend. These are the intraday plays that you want to catch, because these are consistent, 7 to 1, 6 to 1s, right? You're consistent with these for like a month, 2 months, you're going to see your account grow massively, and then that's what's going to build up your confidence. But not only that, it's building your experience, and that's essentially what you want, because that's the one thing I can't teach y'all, right? I can't teach y'all experience. I can show you guys these setups all day, every day, But if you can't go apply it, then, what's the point? So yeah, that just shows the trade for this week, right? This is probably one of the better trades I've had in the past couple months. 560 something pips for 20 pip risk. Not too bad. 15, 20 pip risk. So yeah, guys, see y'all later.